I had
And I
nothing
think,
else on. I've been
yeah,
drinking, but yeah.
I think we're live. So yeah, I just launched the live stream, no preview or anything. But yeah, just for context, if you're catching this live or if you're watching this after the fact, you might be wondering what this is all about. So this is not really a serious live stream. This is just a casual thing that we do on a Saturday morning because we are the 28th, and exactly 5 years ago, I actually launched this channel with a really weird stop motion video about pub battles Waterloo of, of all the things of all the things, this is what I did. And I thought we could do something to celebrate the 5 year birthday, mostly to interact with mostly the community. To be frank, I actually sent the link to the streaming platform to the people on the Discord server, so you'll see some people jumping in and out, saying hi, doing stuff. I'm here with Sean. For those of you who don't know, the fact that this channel still exists and did 5 years is actually because of Sean, or thanks to Sean. He actually motivated me to change, pivot a bit the way we're approaching the content on this channel, doing more live streams, teach and plays, like live interviews and stuff like this. And Sean was there, the mind behind this shift, and actually you were here actually in some of those streams, in the early days. So yeah, if we're 5 years, that's that guy there. So thanks,
So
Sean.
you were doing all the highbrow, very intelligent stuff, and as the Australian friend, I said no, lowbrow live streaming. Like I'm pushing you for unboxings. I'm pushing
Yes.
you for what did I pick up at the shops this week? Like let's let lists. Let's get to lists. We can really send this into the stratosphere for views, but maybe we're not hitting necessarily
Yeah.
the level that you want.
No, but the problem is that maybe you realized before myself my own limits. And it's like, yeah, I want to do highbrow stuff, but I'm a bit too dumb for that. And it's like, Fred, you're a bit limited. You should go. You should go. You should go. Yeah, you should be.
Stuart, I am the first subscriber to
Yeah,
Fred's Kofi, and I'm
backer number one.
still subscribing to this day.
Yes.
So yeah,
So backer
$3
number. You
US every
do
month comes out.
you do get some Lego sets once in a while. So I guess that's
Hey,
it.
I got the you sent me a very civil whist.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And so, yeah, I figured once we looked at the shipping of that, I think it worked out to about what I'd paid for the last 12 months of.
Yeah, that's probably it was so fucking expensive. Australia is so far away, for fuck's sake. Anyway, but yeah,
And,
there is
yeah,
a
it's
few of you
crazy.
here. So nice to have you, Mike, Daniel, Chris, and Stuart. We're not late. We're literally like almost on time. So that's fine. Top 10 books to trick your friends into being a Marxist should be definitely a top. I would do a top five probably. But yeah, it's something I could potentially do here. Anyway, the purpose of that stream was, what was it? I don't remember, Sean. Oh yeah. I sent out a survey a while back and I asked people to rank what they think are the best videos of the channel, to make a top five of the best Homo Ludens video. I thought that would be a fun discussion, and then I can actually talk about what was the behind the scenes of making those videos. So that was the first thing. And then, because I was thinking about just casually streaming, having people coming in and out, the idea was I'm gonna update the TTS module for a Jest of Robin Hood with the final art. So I'll be just I think I'll share my screen, and I will be in TTS updating stuff, putting stuff in the right place and everything, and just answering any question. Seeing people coming in, talking shit, and that kind of stuff. So that should be pretty casual. Joe is late. Joe is late. He was supposed to be.
Fashionably.
Yeah, he's literally on the thumbnail. So I mean, what the fuck?
Oh,
Uh
pretzel head.
yeah, the good old pretzel head. I'm gonna ask him on Discord, where the fuck are you, Joe? It's shocking. He's completely unreliable. This is what I have to work with. He's supposed to be, the smart and structured guy in our couple. Like the guy that keeps me on tracks and everything. And look at it. Like, he's not here. He's late. He forgot that we're doing that stream. But yeah, I have Jan from the team, Jack Radey. Yeah, actually, Jack Radey was probably my first I think it was my first interview. It was dominated by the community as one of those videos that radicalized people into wargaming, and it's probably the thing that it's one of the videos that I'm the proudest I have done. Also, the one that I'm frustrated because it was technically very difficult. So, for those of you who don't know, Jack Radey is a bit of a hidden legend of wargaming. Oh, and Russ is here. Oh my God, Russ! It must be so early for you. For fuck's sake, how are you, Russ?
I'm great. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. So just for context, I think it's 4:30, Russ, right?
Yeah, my clock says 4:36 a.m.
Oh, so you're on the whiskey as well?
Anyway, yeah, I was giving a bit of context of the Jack Radey around the Jack Radey interview. So yeah, Jack Radey, old legend. So he created Class War Game. No, not Class War Games. People War Games. Class War Game is a collective here in the UK. I don't know. Their book is somewhere. Also super cool, but different. No, it's so People War Games, and he specialized in World War II East Front games. He was actually the first one to rethink the way we were portraying the Soviet army in war games. He's a historian. His PhD was actually in military history, specialized in the East Front and military doctrine of the USSR. So he was actually onto something. Decades after, when Titans Clash by Glance was released, so he was really early in this rethinking and reframing the way we portrayed the Soviet army during the Second World War. And he was a really cool guy. He's known also for being an open, like he was at CPUSA, so a communist in the US, which is quite unusual, making war games in a community that is traditionally more conservative and right wing. So quite a unique kind of character. And reaching out to him was hard because it was hard to find him online, and I actually got the help from people on BGG that helped me find his email address. And I literally had someone who said, I live in a city that is like really not far from where he lives. Because when I reached out to Jack Radey, he said, well, I would be happy to do an interview. It's just that I have a very old laptop. I don't have a mic. I don't have a camera. So I literally cannot do an interview online if you don't come to the US. And I had this guy saying, you know what, I have an office not too far from where he is. I can meet up with him, bring him into my office, and I'll put him in front of a camera for you, and we can record the interview. And that was the story behind it. The big frustration came out for it. It was so hard to find him, to do the interview. I was so stressed out to prepare it because I was like, oh my God, that's the interview of my life. Like I was so excited to have him on. And I was really nervous. I struggled actually during the whole interview to actually get the conversation going and everything. And we had big sound issues that I couldn't do anything about. And when I had to edit those videos, I was like, I went through that moment was like, fuck it, I'm not going to release that video. Like, I don't want to. It's like, this sound quality is too bad. Fuck it. Like sometimes I go into catastrophe mode. It's like I give up. Like I'm gonna close that channel and never think about Jack Radey anymore. But yeah, in the end, I actually released it. People enjoy it. We have some really dumb far right comment on there, but not too much. That was okay. The thing that was really funny about this video, so it was in two parts. The first one was really about wargaming. The second one was about politics in wargaming. And I think we have. Wait a minute. I need to find this. I'm going to share my screen. You know what? Oh, Enjo is here. Hey. Actually, and I see that there is a few comments. So, Mike, no, I'm not active on Facebook. I actually don't have a Facebook account. There's a lot of stuff that I don't see. I know that there is a lot of older grognards community, wargaming community over there that I don't interact with just because I don't have Facebook. So I don't know. And yeah, I know that Jack is kind of active like there, like every boomer, I would say. Like Facebook is the boomers.
So you're too young for Facebook, but too old for all the others.
Yeah, exactly. I'm in the sad place where my only environment, like my natural environment, is Twitter, which is like slowly collapsing. So I'm
maybe the worst of them all.
Yeah, exactly. Which is definitely the worst. Hey Joe, how are you? You have the sleepy head. I appreciate.
I have
that.
the sleepy.
Yeah.
I do. And I'm getting really into the spirit of the stream. Happy birthday, Homo Ludens. 5 years.
Thank you very much.
Pyjama
5
streams.
years, yeah, which is actually quite insane when you think about it. I'm going to share this screen. Yeah, so there was one thing that was funny with Jack Radey. Let me find his interview.
Was it your first 2-part video?
Yeah, first 2-part video, first interview, and TDD. And if you go here, do you hear the sound actually? No. Okay. So that's that. And where is it? I think this was so fun.
Is this the guy who lives in Edinburgh and we're going to go visit?
No. He's in the US. He's on the West Coast.
He's
that's
on
not
the
in this
no-fly list.
Yes, probably. Yeah, he's
Too
probably on
commie.
the fly list. Where is it? There was a comment that I was like, "This is insane." I think I never had a funnier comment than this one. Yes. So the son of Friedman, the economist, the like the ultra liberal economist. You know him, Drew, right?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah,
Personally,
so
we're good friends.
You're a good friend. So his son, he actually comments here. So his comment is like da da da. So he was actually Jack's childhood friend, and he say that calling his father right wing is a bit misleading, as he was just an extreme libertarian. I thought this was so fucking funny. Anyway, I think it was really funny to have the son of Friedman just coming on Homo Ludens of any channel on YouTube to watch some of my content and just complain about his father being called right wing, which I thought was extremely funny. Anyway, that was just the small story. And it's nowhere near the top 5 as voted for people. Like some people came through that. I think I had an interesting wave of people coming in when I did those videos, but that's when I launched the vote. People didn't really vote for that one. And Mike, Mike, he's in Oregon. Yeah, exactly. So he's really not that far, and hopefully there were some people in Oregon that could help me out to actually do this interview. And Mike, I know you're a boomer. That was the joke. Sorry, I hope you didn't get it wrong. And
but that's a video that
yeah
keeps getting views too. Like it's not like, it hasn't petered out at 600 views or anything. Like I was looking at the views there, and it's still ticking up over the years. Like that video continues to pull people to your channel. So it's it's not peak Homo Ludens, but it's a nice solid earner for you. Well,
Fred,
and I think it's
can we talk later, Fred, about which your favorite episodes are, not the crowd's favorite episodes?
Well, I'm in 2 of them, so I assume that's close to the top. Now 3.
We'll talk about it. Maybe we can talk a bit about. Actually, you know what? I'm going to pick up the results. I'm not going to show them to you, so you're going to have the surprise. But we had quite a few participants for that survey. That was actually extremely painful to do because it was a ranking survey. So you had actually 16 videos that people had to rank with a drag and drop. That was actually quite annoying.
Oh, you monster.
Yeah, but it's the only way I could do it. That's the only thing I could actually do.
Is it bad that I didn't even participate?
Yeah. And Deborah is here. Hey, Deborah. and Deborah, Pierre, if at some point you want to jump in into the chat, just come. You have the link in the Discord server. And of course, Men of Iron, just for you guys. So Pierre and Stuart are really into Men of Iron, and they think that people like the stream that we did of Men of Iron. It wasn't even nominated. So yeah, nobody likes Men of Iron. Men of Iron is so fucking annoying. Anyway, so where were we?
Oh man, you're just really cutting out that old grognard audience, aren't you? Like at every opportunity, like be gone.
So
old people.
So number five was the one on colonialism. So I'm actually pretty happy that this one is here. So the video on colonialism was a collaboration that I had with Luis. So Luis, who's also on the server. I just really like working with Louis. We haven't done much yet together, but I hope that we're going to do more stuff. We have some plans with Louis to work together on the board game ethics side of the channel. And Louis came up with this idea to talk about the depiction of colonialism in board games, because the book by Mary Flanagan, Playing Oppression, was being released at that time. So we thought that would be a good opportunity. There was a bit of discussion around the new version of Puerto Rico also. So that was the decolonized Puerto Rico version, and we thought that would be a good discussion to talk about. Okay, what's that depiction in board gaming? What does it mean? How come it's been there for so long? And we actually had a pretty nice panel because we had Justin, who we had so wait a minute, we had Mary Flanagan, so who actually had wrote the book. We had Jason Paris that actually worked on the new version of Puerto Rico, and we had Brian Train, which I thought would be really interesting to have, because Brian Train had made so many games that were talking about decolonization and everything, of course in a war game perspective, but I thought it was going to be nice. This one actually had gathered quite some views for Netflix video. I didn't expect it, like 4,000 plus. It did pretty well. Of course,
did you mention Cole?
Oh yeah,
I didn't think you said Cole. Well, so,
there was this guy that some of you might know about. This small designer. The small designer Cole Worley. Cole Worley was there.
Never heard of him. Yeah. He's probably not going to make it.
Yeah. I didn't think it was useful to mention it, because he's like no one knows the guy. He's just here. Yeah. But yeah, so it was actually super interesting panel, really good discussion. And I think it was the right time to actually talk about this. There was some interesting stuff. I hope that some people got Mary's book after that, because I think she actually dives into a lot of really interesting things and depiction of colonialism in board games. That's actually a really, really good book. And that worked pretty well. Of course, we got so many dislikes for this video. We got some pretty shitty comments and stuff like this, but that's part of the thing. I don't think that should prevent us to do those kind of stuff. But yeah, that's one of the videos I'm the proudest of. So pretty happy that it's in the top 5 really. But yeah, I don't know. So did any of you watch it when it was? So
Yep.
Sean, not really. Yeah,
I watched it.
You do these videos at 6 a.m. Sean's not watching.
Yeah, fair enough. You could have watched afterwards. But
Hey, some people watch at 4:30 a.m.
Yeah. So some hardcore members of the community.
But it's usually a 6 a.m. Monday for me too. So it's just like,
6 a.m. Monday is a bit
Fred,
spicy.
Your time's a bit rough.
Yeah. Fair enough. It is a bit spicy. But yeah, so that was video number 5. Angel, you watched it, right?
Yeah, I watched it. Yeah, I watch all of your videos. I love watching video content. I love streaming. I love podcasts. I'm all about this stuff. I love the moving pictures and the sound.
Why are you lying?
It's funny for someone who's so against all that. Geez, you appear in a lot of it.
Yeah. That's
I love it. That's different. That's different. Appearing in is very different. Yeah.
He's in the stream right now. He's literally in the stream right now, and he's whining about it.
It's such a camera.
I was being sincere. You misunderstand me. I'm fully Americanized now. I'm only sincere for only sincerity. No sarcasm.
Too many American dollars into your bank account in recent years, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's completely converted. But yeah. So that was video number 5. Video number 4 was. I'm not really surprised it was in there. I was thinking that it actually might be a bit higher. Video number 4 was the interview with Cole, and I think this one was in this series where in the series where there was a time at Homo Ludens when I was doing interviews of people with big names. We had Jesse Alexander from the history, the couple of history YouTube channels on the Franco-Prussian War, the Great War, and all this. We had who did we have as big names, Sean? Cole was one of them. Rodney
well,
was probably the first big one.
Rodney felt like a bit of a watershed moment where you move beyond historical board gaming and you went into like we're talking major mainstream board gaming with Rodney. That was, I remember how excited you were, how nervous you were, but I don't think it was your most nervous one, but you were very holy shit, Rodney's coming on my channel. And not only that, he's going to talk coin, like he's going to talk games that I know, games that I like, and But I mean, Cole's a big draw.
Yeah, Cole was really good because he's like the biggest name we could have in our space that is so big that he actually crosses in between. Rodney was really just big for board gaming. And the thing that made it extra hard for myself is that I had this idea of tricking him, but we'll talk about it a bit later because, as you might expect, the Rodney video will come up once again. So anyway, Cole was really great. I was nervous because Cole is like, it was still at the time, and Joe will know that, where I was really impressed with people with PhDs. And I thought they were really smart. Of course, I learned since then that people with PhDs are actually pretty dumb. But at that time I was like, oh my god, so smart, it's gonna be really impressive, great designer. What would I have to tell him? I would feel like a so small and everything. It was actually a really great conversation. The thing that made me stressed is that actually it was, I think, one of the first time I spoke directly to Cole, and before the interview, I don't know if he was in bad mood or something, but he was a bit cold. And I was like, whew, that's going to be a spicy one. And actually, as soon as it started, everything was actually quite went really well. We had a really good discussion.
He's just a pure performer, he gets on stage.
Yeah, it's like, he's like, he's focused, he doesn't want to talk, and then you press play, and he's like an entertainer.
Yeah.
What did you say, Sean?
Marketing Cole kicks in the moment.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And he's on. And it actually ended up really being really well. And we actually met in person when he came to the UKGE, and we actually spent some time together in London. And actually, I think it was probably just before that interview, he was probably focused on something else. And actually, all of the rest of our interactions have been great. He's actually very friendly and everything. But that was the first time I was already a bit stressed, and I was like, when we had this interaction, I was like, starting to feel nervous and a bit sweaty, but no, it all went well. And I think one of the other big ones, and I think it's Stuart is mentioning it, but that was Todd McFarlane. I think Todd McFarlane was really funny because I think it was totally unexpected for most people who don't know that Todd is a big coin fan, and actually I don't think that not a lot of people know that in any of the community, the comic book community and the board game community. But Todd McFarlane is, he loves baseball games and he loves coin games, basically. Like, he's that kind of guy. But
that took a while to come together too. I remember we were working on that one for a while. And
having Todd available, and that was all thanks to you, Sean. Actually,
it's so busy.
Because Sean, at the time, you were playing asynchronous game with Todd quite regularly at the time, and you actually the first few times you told me that, I thought it was another Todd, and there was confusion. Like, this is an ongoing story with me, is that I meet people on Discord, and either I think that they are not the people that I think they are, or they are maybe the same people and they are trying to trick me, or so that's a classic story.
There are several active accounts for Fred is convinced, also run by me.
Yes.
Wow. Look, let's not talk about a certain moderator of a certain Discord server that we're all pretty sure
is actually Joe with another name. And that's the thing, is that, and I was really convinced, and so the funny story about this, just for people to know, and maybe we can talk, I don't think that Per knows that, but for a long time I thought that Per Fisher was also, I was an account from Joe, and I don't know why, but I was convinced that Joe had told me in a previous discussion that it was his alt account. I have no idea when that would have happened, and I don't think it ever happened. Hey, Stuart. And the thing is, I was I was convinced of that, and I never talked about it with Joe again. And each time I was having an interaction with Per, someone that I absolutely that I didn't really knew, I thought he was Joe. And sometimes I was being rude to him, making really mean jokes, or making really dismissive comments, or making references to discussions that I literally never had with him. And it took me a while. And then actually, I don't remember what it was, but I think I saw a picture of Per doing something, and I was like, wait a minute. Wait, that person is not who I think he is. This is not Joe.
That's Joe getting a picture off of Google, like of some other random person doing something like. But I mean, the very Australian thing is that you go along with the thing. Like, I'm letting the cat out of the bag here. There's no such thing as drop bears for anyone who's ever been to Australia and been told of drop bears. Like, if someone starts bullshit, we'll just go along with it and feed it, and we just bounce off each other until we can completely bamboozle the foreigners. So so Joe and I just got into this rhythm of like, Joe's Per, like, and it's
a good example of this actually, where Sean's getting involved got a bit away from him, is my original banning from the Homo Ludens server. And actually, we now have a critical mass in the stream, so I have an announcement to make, Fred. I've returned, and I'm now in command of the Homo Ludens server and the Homo Ludens stream. So you're out, and I'm in charge now.
The coup is finally happening.
Coup.
So maybe
I've had my agents on the inside and my alt accounts, and I'm back.
Maybe for people to understand, so there is the Discord server.
That's Fred. Yes, he's gone. He's stopped. We've cut the lines. We've cut the power lines. Great work, Stuart. Great work, Stuart. You had your saboteurs in there.
Yeah. But oh my god! But yeah, of course you've got admins. Yeah, I should never have created admins. I knew that. So
we're also trying to cut your communication line so that you can no longer speak at the minute. So every time you freeze, that's us disrupting the power line.
So for those who don't know, we have a Discord server. If you donate on Ko-fi, you will get access to Discord.
It's
server.
Surprisingly active. I just thought it was a bunch of nerds.
No, it is a bunch of nerds, but nerds are super active.
Bunch of nerds. Trust me. Like
yeah.
It's a little unhinged, if we're honest.
Yeah. It is super active. So get ready, Joe. It can be a bit overwhelming. And actually, so there is actually quite a lot of people there. It's a really fun community. And for those who are wondering, because it might be confusing, all of those private jokes and all this, but we actually have a lore channel that explains everything. So if you join the server, you can read the lore and understand what happened. And we actually, the first entry in the lore that was actually literally one of the foundational primitive events that happened on the Discord server is the excommunication of the old Joe. Because there are many Joes, but that's another discussion. But Joe is the oldest of all the Joes. And in the primordial dawn of the server, Joe was here, heralded old Joe, but also we qualify him as the hermit because, as you can see, he has the face of an old Catholic Orthodox hermit. Look, this is him. So that's the thing. I think it was fair. And he was the first member, and also the first member was Sean. So there was like the Abel and Cain.
No.
Thing.
No, Joe was gone before I got there. So Joe was.
I was in server before Fred was there. I've always been there, and I always
he was here when I created the server. Joe was here, and I was like, I didn't create that. That's it was an accident, and I banned him. And there was already always this thing around when is Joe gonna come back? And is he the 100th disciple, or is it Stephen? We don't know. This is like a lot of debates around all this. We don't know. But anyway, so if you donate on Ko-fi, you want to understand what's happening, you want to follow all the drama. It's a bit like it's literally like Greek tragedy over here.
Yes. Yeah. Just for the record, I do not donate on Ko-fi, and I've never given this man any money, and I never will do.
Yes. But
one time I bought one copy of Red Flag Over Paris. It's the only game I bought.
So one copy of Red Flag Over Paris would have how much money would it have given me? Probably around $1. So
and that was only a mercy thing, because when I first met you, you were so sad about the low P500 numbers on that I couldn't bear to cancel my order.
How many hours of development of Fred's games have you put in, Joe?
Yeah, free labor. We don't check.
I have a spreadsheet actually.
No, I don't
hourly
wanna see
rate
that.
continues to ascend too.
You
as
can
you go up
probably
the
share a
development
screen.
scale.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Fred, I believe you're going to have to set up another coffee to pay Joe.
That's right.
Did I?
It's not a good look not paying your workers. Just
Yes.
Exactly.
Well, it's very communist, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, snap.
Yeah,
Wait a minute. Do you have the spreadsheet, Joe? Or
I do. I mean, so on one of your games, I've spent maybe about 80 hours, but all I'll say is that's less than on some other games. You're not the worst. You're not the most annoying designers I've had to work with.
Oh, that's good to know.
you should get that framed.
Not-
That's probably the
not as
nicest
a
thing he's going to
designer.
say to you. You should get that on your wall.
Yes, probably.
As a designer,
probably.
you're not the most annoying.
Exactly.
As a designer,
As a designer, as an individual, that's a whole other
yeah,
question.
it's dicey at that point.
How many of those hours are needling him to try to like finish something or do something?
Quite a lot is spent doing that. Although, of course, those are it's a very short amount of time, but it just adds up. It's very frequent messages to phone calls. Have to travel down to London sometimes just to go knock on Fred's door and get him to do something. And I have to bill for that, of course.
Stuart knows the struggle too. I think
Constantly.
Yeah.
How about actually? Can we schedule a podcast like right now? while I have you here.
But we don't. Oh god, I haven't edited the one before, and we still haven't done the monthly one. It's too soon to. We could record it, so the thoughts are still in your head, I guess.
You written that playbook yet?
Yeah,
He's nearly done. He's got one section.
Yeah, I've got one section left.
He has one section left to do on communism, and he told me he doesn't want to write it because he doesn't like communism anymore.
That's fair.
He's post-communist.
Supreme capitalist.
I didn't say that. So regarding the recording of the podcast, Stuart, when is the good time for you and Pierre?
Next week.
Next week? Yeah, I think we can do it next week, and that would be before Zencaster collapses. So that's probably for the best.
But after you finished the Just a Robin Hood playbook,
Just a Robin Hood playbook should be done over the weekend. That's the plan. I just have to add a small section about true levelers in my section about Robin Hood and God because of Eren. But apart from that, I just have this last section about Robin Hood and Revolution, and I'm good. So it should be over on my side. Video number 3 of the top 5 videos on Homo Ludens was really highly voted, and I think the top 3 is actually all of them are pretty close to one another. And this one is the video Discovering Coin with Rodney Smith, and yeah, I think this one was really a big one. It was hard to organize because Rodney didn't have a lot of time. The time zones were a bit tricky, and also it was hard because he didn't knew it at the time, but I was preparing a surprise for him, and this was actually happening here in the video. So we were just talking about Coin, about him getting into Coin, and I thought it would be really funny if I had a surprise guest, and I actually called Volko in. So for them to have a chat about the series, he wasn't aware, and actually you can see that he has a really fun reaction here. So when Volko appears all of a sudden in the stream, but it was super hard to organize, but in the end I think it was totally worth it. I still think it's the video that got the most view on the channel.
No,
I think it must be one of the best.
It's not.
Yeah, it's up there, but it's not the most.
But most is going to be something really stupid. It'll be Fred unboxing, I don't know, really obscure. Oh no, there's that obscure Soviet game. That's the one. That's the top one. Fred unboxing a game.
No, it's not. It's
shocked.
Fred, me, and Mark doing Pacific War.
Oh
no,
yeah.
Okay. So the Sean O'Keefe star factor brings in the crowd.
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
I've been in 2 videos on YouTube before now, and one of them's got way too many views, and I'm not happy about it. So I'm gonna have to get it pulled down.
Yeah, and I think actually the thumbnail I used the picture where you're in a cone, right?
Oh yeah, from what's that game? The Exploding Kittens expansion.
Yes. Yeah,
the Cone
exactly.
of Shame.
Yeah. So Joe has the pretzel picture. You have the cone, and Mark. I decided each time he's invited, I would put a stupid hat on his head. for all of his intervention. But yeah, this one was the hardest to organize. I was actually a bit stressed, but not too much, not as much as Cole, I would say, because Rodney is so friendly.
Rodney is so nice. Yeah, you couldn't be stressed about meeting Rodney. He's just the nicest guy.
And I was wondering how it was going to be to interact with him directly in person. And he's actually nicer in person than his super nice persona that he puts on. So my theory is that Rodney thinks that he has a bad boy persona online. That he's like
he's Canadian for a start. That's impossible.
But that's the thing. It's like
bad
boy Rodney. Bad boy Rodney is like very kind. He just has sometimes some opinions that he believes in, and that's pretty much it. So that's radical Rodney that we have online. And actually, normal Rodney, real life Rodney is even nicer. So that's actually quite something.
I just love watching him. He has these great like gestures when he's showing things and like teaching things. He's just very expressive. Like I as you know, struggle watching video content. I could just watch Rodney just
when you look at
reading
him,
through a book.
You see craft. Like this guy developed the craft, and when you look at his earlier video, he's not there. So it's definitely something that he acquired over time, and he actually shaped into this. First of all, I think he has a perfect face for video. Like he has a video face, and like it looks like it's very charismatic. It goes through. It works really well. And then he developed this natural charisma. I think when he does
the slow flick through a booklet, it's just amazing. It's just beautiful. Yeah,
and
he's in a live stream, and his framing is perfect. Like there's actually 7 people behind the camera, all directing Rodney for a live stream right now. Like that's how drilled he is.
And it's really good. But it was really fun having Volko appearing. Was also great. They ended up.
That's what you've missed. Where's Volko been? It's been a couple of years since we've had Volko on. He used to be there every second week.
Yeah, he was the co-host. What happened?
Yeah.
Don't tell me if it's me. I don't want that. I don't want that on my shoulders.
Look, Volko has.
I started showing up too much, and then Volko stopped, and now I'm a little worried about it.
So a few emails. Volko, very diva-ish behavior.
Let me check.
I'm actually Volko, just shaved.
When was the last time we saw Volko? Let me check, because he was here actually quite a few times. There was a period where we're talking a lot of Bitcoin, talking a lot about Levian campaign. I think the last time it was 10 months ago, so it wasn't that long.
It's not too bad, yeah.
Yeah, so it was 10 months ago when. So that was the first time Liz appeared on the channel. Since then, she's literally became the owner of the channel. But so
it's Lizco.
So I think that's Liz's fault, because literally the last time we saw Volko, Liz was on, and then he never came back. So I think that's. If I had to pinpoint one event in time where Volko stopped coming, I think it was when Liz appeared. So I think we solved that case.
Has anyone seen Volko since?
Yeah,
she may have killed him.
Yeah, literally. I think there is an argument there. We probably should look into that.
Probably check on Volko.
Yeah, that was the last time. But I think that's if I want to see Volko again, I think he's been pretty clear about that. Even in this one, he was like a bit like, yeah, we could talk about Fall of Saigon, but he wasn't super excited about it. The only way I could get him back on the show was if I did more Levian campaign content. And I'm actually
Hunt for Blackbeard.
Or Hunt of Blackbird. Yeah, that could actually work.
That would be a fun one to do on the stream.
That would be
actually.
fun.
Yeah, I think so.
Although I do also love Intro to Levian campaign run, kind of like a role playing session with Volko DMing it. That was fun.
Yeah. So that was with Sam from Lord of the Board. This was awesome. I was actually a bit sad that this one wasn't nominated, because actually it's one of the videos that I enjoyed the most, that did the most view. And I don't know. I was like, okay, no nomination for this. Fair enough. But I was a bit sad about this. I think it's one of the video I'm the proud of stuff too. And I think that Volko he's a great storyteller. Like he's a game master.
It's a really it's a really interesting way to teach a game, which lots of people I play with would actually hate it because they want to know all the rules and stuff before they start. But for someone like you who's quite smooth brained, just being sat down and told like, Fred, you are 12th century German and you're stuck in the snowy wastes. These are your options. You can gather provender or you can venture forth. You love it.
For
It's
me,
great.
I was like, yay! That's
Like, we're going on an adventure. Yeah.
yes, exactly. Yes. Domash. Yeah, that's who I am. I'm a simple man. I create little names for my tokens. I have small songs. I have the song of Domash in my head that plays each time I play him.
I think it works well for levying campaign as well, because you do have these fairly straightforward choices. Like if you're playing really well, you should be planning ahead a lot. But levying campaign, personally, I think is best when you don't try too hard and make a lot of mistakes and play a bit silly and kind of get into the spirit of it and the role playing of it. It would work less well, I think, for something like Coin, where it's like, you're commander of all of Vietnam. Do you want to rally or do you want to terror? You want to rally first and then you want to terror. Like there's not the same kind of narrative choices in some ways. I think
role playing the terror in the streets of Hue is not necessarily as much fun as
as murdering pagans in Latvia.
If Fred had taken my suggestion and played Sherwood this morning, then he could have done that. Sherwood is a great game for role playing because each counter is one person and there's rules for jumping out of windows. So it's like
that sounds good. I'd like.
We haven't excluded playing Sherwood. We could still bring it on stream.
Sherwood.
It's the only Robin Hood game anyone needs.
So someone is saying there is a lot of Levian campaign games, and I do agree. And actually, the next one that will be featured on the channel is this one, Plantagenet.
I haven't even opened it.
No, I haven't opened it yet because I'm not preparing the stream yet. But I was talking with
Mr. Lots of Games.
With Paco, and we're just waiting for something that I cannot talk about, but something is going to happen for Plantagenet that will make...
Which country does this game take place in? Does it take place in Francais, Plantagenet, or does it take place in England? Plantagenet, please.
So, Joe,
let's get that right.
I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry if all of your political elites are actually French. If actually the only people who could bring order to this ravaged land and actually make it an actual country are French people. I'm really sorry, Joe. But those people are called Plantagenet, and those are the people who civilized you. So that's I'm really sorry about that. And
who was the ultimate winner of this game? The Tudors, Henry VIII. Some good British rulers.
But after
would you say that Henry VIII is Henry VIII really a French elite, or is he a big fat Englishman?
No, he's a big fat Englishman.
Henri VIII.
Henri.
And I don't know.
I mean, Henry VII is Welsh, so
yeah, and
there you go. He's the one king from Wales.
And Henry VIII is, I think he's a perfect example of why we cannot let you govern yourself. I think that's really good that you're bringing it up. Like, it's not the best. Like, he's literally not the best. We can say he's not the best. And he had this thing about it. Like, he was very much like a bit like an Emirati. He liked to buy stuff that looked good and everything, but not really understanding it. So yeah, Henry VIII.
He has to be one of the most famous kings of all time.
Yeah, but
even though he's wives, that's how famous he is.
Yeah, we all know all 6 of his wives. There's a little rhyme about all of his wives.
Yes.
Do any French kings have that? That? I don't think so.
No, that's true. That's fair. That's actually fair. And I think that's okay. We can do without. Oh, and actually Sam is here. Sam, we were talking about you just earlier. We were talking about the video with Volko on.
He has a little alarm that goes off whenever you mention his name. That's how he's here.
On Nevsky.
It's actually really rude of you to bring it up because he was asleep.
Yeah,
and now he's awake.
That's Fred. If you want to be a professional YouTuber, that's the kind of stuff you need to do. Okay, you need to get serious about this.
Yeah,
get serious about what?
The first 5 years. We're relaxing, and now it's like you're pro.
Yes, you need an alarm which goes off whenever anyone else mentions your name, so you can get on the channel.
Oh yeah, I need to pull off a Roger McGowan. This is what you mean. This is
exactly. That's
Roger. Just Roger is like, I don't know how he does it. Each time he mentions,
it'll be in the comments in about.
Exactly.
Now that with a custom image somehow, even though you can't put images in the chat.
Yeah, exactly. So
It'll be a
Roger-
picture of Fred and a picture of Joe and that weird detail he's got, and then at the back there'll be the flags, and there'll be like a
Neon
field in the
logo.
middle, and then Sean will be like small in a little portrait with his ears.
Well,
like,
only half his body.
And so Roger, but he has the skills that I'm so
I'll be upside
impressed
down
by.
because I'm down
Yeah.
under.
Yes. Yeah. Fair enough. But like Roger, when you mention a game that he worked on Twitter, and you don't mention Roger directly, you just mention a game that he worked on. Bam, bam, bam. He's here like within a couple of hours with actually some visuals that he made in the 90s and stuff like this, and some C3I memorabilia, which is, and I think it's nuts. I don't know how he does it. I'm always so impressed. I'm like, this guy is everywhere. Like he notices things. Like he I don't know. I think he's pretty awesome. I don't know how he does it. It's
Omnipresent would probably be the term I'd be using.
Yeah.
More than awesome, it's just he's there everywhere.
Yeah. Yes, he's omnipotent. Yeah, that's the thing, which is pretty impressed. And yeah, Sam, if you want to jump into the stream, I can send you the link. As long as you're in pajamas, you're allowed. Everyone is in pajamas here. Maybe not Sean. Sean is not in pajamas. He looks like he has this.
He's Australian. They always wear like kind of chilled out clothes. Like he's probably kind of in pajamas.
It's not far off of it, but
exactly.
Another drink. So.
Anyway, so we were on the podium. Video number 3 was Rodney, and video number 2 was Babyface Steven was here. Yes, my youngest guest, I think.
obviously the best one because it has a section dedicated to me. So, I mean, all videos should have that.
It does. I don't think he's your youngest guest, though, Fred. I think you've had Young Joe on the channel.
Oh yeah, Young Joe is young. Is he younger than Steven?
He's about 12 years old, isn't he? Didn't you need to get his parents to sign up?
Yes,
like,
I needed to get parents' approval to get Joe on the channel. That's fair enough. No, I think that Young Joe and Steven are actually the same age, but I'm not sure which one is younger than the other. And it's funny because Young Joe wanted to be in this stream and he was really sad that he wasn't formally invited. And I was like, dude, it's happening at 9:30. You're not going to be awake at that time. And look, he's not here. Like, and I know I've been to his place and he wakes like he's a sleepyhead. Like he's like a teenager. He really sleeps really late.
Well, he's up late too, man. Like, it'll be late here and he's still on Discord. And I'm like, dude, what is it, like 3 a.m?
Yeah.
Have you gone to bed?
Whereas
Jason Carr.
Steve
be messaging you.
Yeah, Jason Carr and Steven. Jason Carr and Steven, very confusing people. Both live in the US. I live in the UK. I'll wake up in the morning. It'll be 7 or 8 a.m. and they'll both be online chatting away to me. And I have to try and work out if they're up late or up early. And normally the answer is Jason is up really late and Steven is up really early. Reading my war crimes or something. Jason's up really late and just doing something stupid, and that's it. So those are the people I have to work with. Degenerates.
Yes.
Heard it here first. Jason Carr, Steven Ranganzas,
degenerates.
Yeah.
But anyway, Steven Ranganzas, the designer of the British Way, but also Sovereign of Discord, that was recently released, the prequel to Fire in the Lake, was on the show, and I think that was the second most liked video or voted for video in our small survey, where he actually talks about the limits of the coin system. And I was a bit sad it was that high because it's the video where I literally don't speak. It was like, okay, that's a strong signal.
Yeah, keep listing its positive qualities.
Yes.
This does happen whenever you get Steven on the stream. Actually, he has a lot to say, and he's often prepared, like a whole dossier. He's got a whole dossier, and he's leafing through it.
Yeah.
And this time it was a dossier of self-humiliation, which is why people like it so much. I think.
Yes.
Yeah. People love watching Fred. Just to let you know, on secret, people love watching your stream because you're constantly humiliating yourself. And this was just one step better, which was Steven saying, I've designed 3 Coin Series games, and here are all the reasons why the Coin Series sucks.
Yes, yeah, it was basically this, which was actually quite a wild video, but it did pretty well. Like for a video that was so detailed, so much into theory and everything, I didn't expect it to do so well. I think it were around 5K views 6 months in, which for a video like this is quite unexpected. With very dry slide, as you can see, but he does have some pictures once in a while, and to bring some people in at 10 minutes, he shows a picture of Root. So he's not really as sharp a marketing persona as Cole, but he does have. He's starting to develop some skills. But yeah, it was I think one of the probably the most interesting content, I would say, that we got on the channel. One of the stuff where I was literally, because I had discussed it with him before, and in our exchanges on Discord, I didn't really get exactly what was his points of criticism with Coin. I understood some of it, but some of it wasn't clear. And I was like, oh, you know, Steven, like being his PhD self, overthinking thing and being confusing. And I didn't really get it. But once he was on the stream and he actually went through his reflection, and it's actually, yeah, it's actually an hour and a half of a demonstration of why he thinks there is a problem with the core system and what needs to be changed. I was really, like, it really made me think a lot. Like it was, I was really convinced about it. So that was really cool. So yeah, you literally can see my face, and you can see it here where I'm listening to him, and I'm like, oh, now I understand what he's talking about. That was actually quite an interesting moment. And yes, we still haven't played Root. I'm happy to play whenever you want. We could do a Root live stream. I would be actually super happy to play that with you. Just let me know when, and we organize it. And yeah, because the next time
I'll join it, but I want one promise that we don't play professional Root, because I've heard that professional Root takes up to 5 or 6 hours for one game, which is
but Joe, you're playing with me. We're not playing professional. Like that's as long as in the game there is no professional thing happening. I don't know what's happening.
Sam's a professional player, so I don't know. I'm worried about
he said let's do that. We're gonna play casual Root with Sam. That would be awesome. Because Sam is
but this conversation in Australia is a completely different conversation, by the way. Like,
oh yeah,
casual Roots, professional Roots.
Yes.
Like this is like my mind is blown right now.
Tell us, Sean.
Shocked.
Explain us the context of Root in Australia.
Sexual Congress would probably be the term to use, but it's a very uncouth way of describing it. Put it that way. So I would use it. No,
so that would get us demonetized, right?
Nah. We can use more filthy words than that.
Okay, that's fine then. So the thing is that Sam is supposed to come back, but he will come back later, maybe at the beginning of next year, because there is a new box of Imperium, the card game from Osprey. That is going to be out, and I think that Sam and I will be reviewing the new content. Not reviewing the new content, but do a playthrough of the new content. And Sam is really good with this game. I still haven't wrapped my head around it, so that's good. So he should be back. But if we can do in the meantime a game of Root, I think that would be really nice. But anyway, that was video number 2. And I'm wondering, do you have any guesses of what is going to be video number 1?
Oh, I know exactly what it is.
You know exactly what it is.
Yep.
And we decided it's Men of Iron playthrough with me. Yeah.
That's right. I think it's one of your videos with Mark Herman, because he's just a bit of a superstar. But I don't know which one.
So that's the thing. It actually doesn't appear in the top 5. I think his highest video,
I don't know it.
His highest video is the Designer Duel, but actually Designer Duel is top 7. Just on top
do you know why that's in the top 7? Public humiliation, Fred.
Yeah,
because it's a designer losing at his own game, and that's what people want to see.
Yes, but it's only top 7. I would expect it to be higher. Yeah,
the top 5 obscure games with players A and Kai.
Oh, so
I thought it was CDG.
Top 5 underrated games.
Top
you
5
think? So this is your vote. Yeah. Top 5 underrated. Okay.
I was certain it was the CDG one, but obviously if Mark's not in it, then it's not that.
I didn't see that. It is. I say that we'll see. But so you say CDG, Sean. So Stuart, you say underrated. Russ, what do you think it is?
I honestly was thinking it was CDG too, but
CDG too.
Well, I think Fred is switching up the rules of the game, so I'm going to stick with Mark Herman here because I don't trust him.
So which one?
Game Jam #1 kickoff video. That's it.
So which one do you? So which one do you think it is, Jordan?
I'm hedging my bets. I'm going to take whatever one third of a payout, but just for one of the videos with Mark Herman in. It's like going on black and red rather than picking another.
Oh, okay. And Deborah thinks it's top 5 games to trick non-war gamers. It is.
Classic. Wasn't that? That's one of the first ones he did, wasn't it? So it's a classic Fred
it's
Serval
one of
content.
It's one of the old school Fred Serval contents, but I don't think
back when he was doing lists.
Yeah,
I don't.
We should do that again. The good old days.
Yeah.
I think it's in the top 10 barely. Yeah, it's 8, number 8. Yeah, it's number 8.
I mean, that's what we're doing today, actually, Sean. It's kind of meta, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're discussing lists.
Yeah.
Anyway, best video.
Which list video was the best? Sorry.
And actually, the best video that was on the channel that was voted, and actually, it's not the one with the most views. Interestingly, and it has all of the people that you expect to see actually on the Homo Ludens video, and that was indeed the CDG discussion. So the design discussion with Mark Herman, Volko, and Jason Matthews about CDG, which I was actually surprised that it got so much vote for, because surprisingly, the ratio between likes and video views is super high. So like the out of the 6,000 people who saw it, like there is actually quite a lot of engagement. There is quite a lot of comments. There is quite a lot of stuff in there, and there is a lot of likes. I don't think there are all. Maybe there almost aren't any dislikes, but yeah, that's definitely the video that.
Who would dislike that video? Like, it was a really good chat with some really top level designers, yourself included, Fred. Like, you're in that group now, and
I'm not in that
still
group.
waiting for you to release part 2 of the podcast. I'm pretty sure that never came out.
Didn't it? I think I did. I did release it. Yeah, I did.
Maybe it did. I don't know. I stopped listening.
Yeah. I did release it maybe 6 months after, something like this, when people had forgot that I.
You left me hanging. I moved on, and I just listen to Joe Rogan now.
Yeah. Okay, I failed. I failed you, Sean. I failed you. I'm sorry.
That's the pipeline. Get the kids hooked on Homo Ludens, and then they're into Joe Rogan.
Yeah, and then whatever happens after Joe Rogan, I don't know. It's pretty confusing.
I think it's Trump. Somewhere I end up on a Trump podcast.
Yeah.
Done it.
I think it's Confederate reenacting. That's the path.
I think they call it Confederate LARPing at this point, just to try and be a little bit more.
Can we celebrate Robert E. Lee's statue being melted?
Being melted. That was good.
That was pretty cool.
That was.
Yeah, it was pretty intense. Quite metal. Yeah.
It looks so good. Wait a minute.
And we're right back to public humiliation, Fred. It's just what people want.
Where is it somewhere? Can we see?
There's one down. There's melted down. Fourth result down.
This one?
Yeah, Robert E. Lee melted down. I think so. So we want to see the melt. No, we want to see the metal melting.
Face.
Yeah,
we want the glowing face.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Is it Terminator style? Like, he drops slowly into like the
pretty much, and then you see the hand coming up at the end. Yeah, saying whatever a Confederate salute is. I don't know, Stuart. Is there a distinctive Confederate salute? That's not just like a Sieg Heil or something.
Not really.
Okay.
They didn't even have all the same uniforms, right?
I don't see it. Yeah, if someone in the chat knows where we can find this video, because it's like it's pretty cool. It's really impressive to see. Anyway, that's not really what I was
celebrating the number 1 video very quick, didn't we?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So sorry, my bad. Let's go back. So that was CDG with the big boys. Actually, and I forgot on this one to actually put a funny hat on Herman's head. I think it might have been the first time he was coming on the show, and I was like unsure of how far I could take it. And interestingly enough, in that video, there is a top 5 hidden in it that people are usually unaware of. But each of those titans actually list their top 5 CDG games at some point. I think it's halfway through somewhere, which is actually funny. So there is a top 5 hidden in that video that we're talking about in a top 5 live stream. So I'm not sure it gets more meta than that. But,
I think we should top 4 the top 5s. So we should in this video rank, is Mark Herman's top 5 better than Jason Matthews' top 5, better than Volko's top 5?
But actually, that would be a top 3. We should do a top 3 of their top 5. So that would be actually pretty.
We should also get your top 5 CDGs and then include that in the ranking as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That makes sense. And then we could do a top 4.
Yeah. And then we could just pick one of us to do a top 5 CDGs.
Yeah, and then we could do a top 5 of the top.
I think
5.
I've only played 4 CDGs. So I don't know if
I was going to say I'm not sure I have a top 1 CDG. I have to think really hard about this.
Yeah, and actually, Mike is suggesting top 10 best lists, which is actually
Yeah, I was going to say, like, why don't we do a top 5 lists?
Yeah, I like top 7s. Actually, if anything, yeah, top 7s are really underrated. I think top 7s are really nice. It's one of my favorite numbers. So yeah, I don't think there are just enough top 7s out there. I would put it. Yeah, I know it's a strong statement, but this is what what it is. But yeah, that was That was the 5 most liked videos of the 5 years history. And as I was saying to Stephen when I was preparing this, so in the nomination there were, I think, a couple of reviews that I made of the old times. I think there was Siege of Oregon that was in there, LCK 1918, and Dual Power. I think those were the 3 ones. Yeah, 3 reviews out of the 16 one that were nominated, and all of them are at the bottom of the ranking. And I was like, well, okay. So like, some people keep asking for me to do other reviews. It's like, well, first of all, it takes a lot of time. Not a lot of people watch them. And when I ask people, did you enjoy it? It's like, fuck that. Like, I hate this shit. And I'm like, why would I do it? I don't know.
Well, that was why you were stepping away from YouTube. You got very tired of these long, slow productions.
Yeah.
Took you ages to generate the content. You'd get okay views. I mean, that's how I first came across you. Like, I'd seen you on YouTube, and then the next thing, I'm in the middle of COVID playing you in the Pure Land.
The Pure Land. Yeah.
Early playtests. So, but I think that the big step for you was moving to live streaming.
Yeah,
you could just free up and just start just talking to people, which you do well.
Yeah, this was what I was saying at the beginning, and that was thanks to you, like pushing me, like nudging me in the direction and everything. I think if it was like, it's a more natural fit, and it made a lot of sense. That being said, I'm actually preparing some reviews. I have a few of them who are going to come up. Actually, I have 2 who are written. One of them is recorded, and the other one I need to record. So I'm going to do a few. But maybe in a simpler format than what I did before. One is going to be on the Spanish game 12-12 Las Navas de Tolosa, and the other one is going to be on Banish the Snakes by GMT. So I'm going to do 2 reviews. I think one of them is going to be pretty uncontroversial. The other one may be a bit spicier, so we'll see how it goes.
Will the game end up in the bin at the end?
Yeah,
we're not going to that level of spice.
So the thing is that no, I don't think I would do something. I don't think that if my videos are provocative, I would rather them being provocative by the thing that they say rather than the spectacle that they offer. So I don't know. I think I prefer to be spicy by saying something that is just like interesting or thought provoking rather than just doing a stupid stunt. So yeah, that's not really my style, so I shouldn't do that. And yeah, so I see that Homo Ludens book club. So in a way, actually, what we're doing with Liz is a bit of that. So we had this moment where we had the live stream where we talked about Wizinga's Homo Ludens. Then we have our reading club, you could say, where we talk in Wargame archaeology about the General from Avalon Hill, where we go volume through volume, year per year, and we talk about it. So that's a bit of that. But yeah, with Riccardo Massini, we had for a long time a plan to actually do a book club episode 3, and it's going to be on Zones of Control, where you're going to have each of the guests choosing an article, and we're going to talk about each of those articles individually. But yeah, we just never came down to it. I think it was mostly my fault, to be honest. I kept postponing it, doing other stuff and everything. But yeah, if there is interest, just Joe and Stuart would tell you, if you want something to happen on Homo Ludens, the best way is to just nag me about it on a daily basis, and then it ends up happening. But yeah,
tease him, nag him, just thank
I feel kind of bad about the monthly podcast, because I used to nag Fred about that, And so that happened, but now I nag him about my podcast, and now it doesn't happen anymore. I feel like that's my fault.
The thing is, so I'm very dismissive of podcasts, but I secretly quite enjoy coming on the podcast. But I can't ask Fred to do it because that would
defeat the purpose.
Just why I liked it. And I don't listen to podcasts. I don't know what podcasts are really, but I enjoy chatting to Fred about books and stuff, and people hear it. So, but I do need someone else to tell him to do it because I couldn't do it myself.
So otherwise, how will you get your K-drama hot takes out there?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the important thing to do. So, and have you seen Business Proposal? Because that's great.
I haven't. I'll check it out.
Who published that?
So both Russ and Sean, you're asking for something that you're typing in the chat, and you don't dare to ask me in person, which I find it quite troubling. So Russ, what do you want to know? Ask your question.
What? Oh man, what question do I want to know?
Your question is about specifically about the specific game. Yes, yeah.
When is Pacific War Part 2 coming?
So the thing that I'm gonna say, and something that I said, so I'm really happy to take blame for most of the stuff, right? I am a man who has a lot of flaws. One of them is the inability to organize myself and to actually deliver on time things. That's true. That's me. But regarding Pacific War, the series, that's really not on me. We started the series, and both Mark and I were waiting for Gary from Artwolves there to come back with us with a date to do the episode 2. And I'm not saying that I'm looking forward to it or that I've been super proactive in pushing it, but in the end, it's really not on me. And I've had discussion with Mark, I've had discussion with Gary, and it's really, it's really out of my hands. It's supposed to happen on Artwolves there channel. And the funny thing is that I'm actually might be on his channel to discuss other things and everything. So I might come back on his channel to do other stuff that were discussed way after than the Pacific War series. But
it's time to start hassling Artie and saying, hey, Artie, when are you gonna get Fred back?
Exactly.
Can't you just send Mark whatever invite you get for his channel?
And we say, you know what?
And take it.
Now
over.
That's an uprising.
Yeah,
come on someone else's channel, invite a guest, and then you determine the content like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Now that's a coup.
Yeah,
that would be actually
people
pretty
will
spicy.
talk about that. Yeah. I'm all for that kind of content.
Yeah, we could do that, idea. But I hope that he doesn't watch this then because it wouldn't be that much of a surprise. but yeah, that's definitely something that I can prepare. Anyway, so
and then Volko just shows up,
and then
Volko's here. How do you find Pacific War, Volko? Oh, I've never played it, but I like Mark. We're friends.
Oh, and so so Jan, that will never happen. I would never do that. So Jan is referencing a specific video series from Bruce Garrick, where he actually does a full comparative review of games on Dien Bien Phu. And I think this piece of content is probably one of the best things that has been done about war games on YouTube ever. Like, I've watched a lot of content and everything, and I think that this series is one of the best things that I watched. And I think it's one of the things that inspired me to start doing content. And actually, all of my reviews early on had what I call ludography, where I would talk about other games that exist in the same space and put the game within the context of not only its designer, but also within the context of the wider context of games existing on the same topic and how different they are. And I think this is something that is a pretty awesome way to approach it. And I think like Bruce Garrick series on Dien Bien Phu is just completely amazing. And if he launched a Kickstarter tomorrow to do the same thing on any battle, I would give him just a shitload of money for him to do that. That being said, I think Franco-Prussian War as a topic is too large. I think we would need to look at a specific battle. And the problem is that the Franco-Prussian War is not popular enough to have a battle that we can actually do comparative reviews on. But I'm not giving up on this idea of comparing games together. And in a lot of ways, what Stuart is doing with Pierre on the American Civil War is this. It's just on a way bigger scope than what Bruce had done. I'm planning on doing the same type of content in a shorter number of episodes, probably 5 or 6, just on Barbarossa, and that's with the help of Stuart, getting in contact with an historian that has a specialization in depiction of World War II East Front in media. And I hope to do more of that stuff, but it's just that it's typically the kind of stuff that requires so much work. You have no idea. It's just that, yeah. So, but it's definitely something that I don't give up on. I don't think that a Franco-Prussian War is necessarily a good topic for that. And yeah, Deborah, it was promised, and you know what? Here it is. So I'm gonna start actually updating the TTS module for A Jest of Robin Hood, and actually that's the previous map. It was updated since then. I also need to change the traveler backs, the actual traveler cards, and we have the player aids. So I guess
Fred, when you say you're going to do this, do you mean I'm going to join and do this? Because I don't think you have any of the content to do this.
I do have all of the cards, but you can join
You do not have all the cards.
I'm trying to picture Fred actually talking while he does this in the background, and it'll just be us watching Fred doing.
Wait a minute, how come I don't have? Because I've got the cards from Robert. So
I know that was months ago, Robert, and because of crucial feedback from proofreaders such as Deborah, some of the cards got changed slightly.
Oh, but then the version that I have is not the updated folder, so that's the old.
No, I got sent to me separately. What's the password? I'll do it.
Oh, so I'm gonna send you on Discord. I'm gonna send you the information.
Make sure you put this in your spreadsheet as time.
Yes.
Go.
Log it.
That's a good point. You
gotta log it.
Okay.
1 hour 11 minutes and 5 seconds. 7, 8.
We'll say 111. We're generous. 111. Reminding Fred counts his work. So from the moment you said, reminding him that counts.
That's true. Cron there, Fred.
Cron. I'm not going to tell you what the password was, but I just want you guys to know it's super racist. Fred's there.
I mean, the stuff he says really, behind the scenes.
It's not. So we only have one closeted racist in the community, and we are actively monitoring him. And that's Pierre. That's the only one. He says he's not, and it's true that when you talk to him, it doesn't look like he's weird. But when you look at his game collection, you're like, dude, what the fuck? Take a step back.
He does own a lot of solitaire games about the Confederacy, and who can say how he got them? But
yes, and I don't want to know. But
I've written some very negative reviews about some of those games, and I don't know why he has them.
Just saying, just putting it out here.
That's not the right password, Fred.
That's not the right password?
It's not working anyway. Right.
Wait a minute.
This is heading up to the top of the voting count for number one video.
Yeah.
Watching Joe try and get into the.
I think I misspelled the password.
Yeah.
Okay, Fred. What we're gonna do when I'm in is I'm gonna update the cards, and he spelled it the French way. Oh my goodness. Classic. Okay. What we're going to do is I'm going to update the cards, and you can talk about each card as I update it. Okay?
Yeah, sure.
Until you get bored, which will take about 2 cards.
I can definitely do that. Oh yeah, because you're going to upgrade them one by one in your traditional style.
Of course I am.
Okay, so
you need to promote me or something.
Yeah, I'm going to promote you now. Yeah. So I'm going to change your color, and I'm going to put you in Game Master.
This must be very boring for everyone watching. Okay.
Actually,
and we can actually chat about. So
it's an impromptu TTS lesson as well.
Yeah.
You can see
that. But actually, I don't think that Joe is a good TTS teacher because the way he's updating decks is very unorthodox. So I love that he does it. So I have a kink. I'm gonna be open here. We're not monetized, so I can say whatever I want. But one of the things that I love doing is listening to Joe updating a TTS module, and he would be doing his stuff, and I would just be like this, chilling and just listening in, maybe sometimes talking a bit to him, but just hearing the noise of the cards, of him mumbling and doing stuff. And because he does an update where he updates each card one by one and modifies stuff, it takes a huge amount of time, and it's really funny. Normally,
so basically, it's Joe working and you sitting there doing nothing.
Yeah, that's basically that's the dream.
That's the relationship.
Yeah, that's the kind of relationship that we have.
You need to promote me more. You need to give me full control, not only of the TTS game, but also the channel and the server.
So the Discord server, you have to,
Yes. In order for me to appear, I don't know why, but for some reason TTS is connected to Discord, and you're going to need to make me an admin. It's weird.
You don't write the rules, right?
Okay. I think I can do it now. Let's see. I don't know how you've. I'm actually going to have to do it differently because you've done these cards and Super Bowl. I'm just going to make some new cards. Okay.
I didn't think I've
make some new
looked at
cards.
any of the final stuff, so I'm curious to see what it looks like.
I can't do these cards one-on-one because you did them as a full deck, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, because I'm not insane.
Yeah, I actually can't update them anyway. I don't know how TTS works, so this is a complete failure. I could just send you the cards, or we could not do this. I don't mind.
Can you? Yeah, actually, I think you have to create a new object if you wanna edit a specific card. That's true, but you can you can do that. I think that's
professional game design, kids. You can do it too.
Yeah, but Fred, I can't change any of the. You need to make me host.
I need to make you host. Can I promote you?
Yeah,
more
because I can't. I think
so.
You
Give host.
Yeah, you need to do that. Okay.
There you go.
Good. Yeah.
I'm still disappointed.
TTS kids, don't do it.
There's no official metal coins for Jest.
I know.
Rubs me wrong.
I did have a designer ask me the other day. Yeah.
Yeah. And the subtitle wasn't a game of coin.
Yeah.
That annoys me. Well.
Yeah, technically, first coin with coins. So I get your point, Sean. I think it makes a lot of sense, but people at GMT were not super convinced.
Yeah, I did have a designer ask me about what we could do.
Right.
Yeah. Custom add-ons is what people want, but I think it's impossible.
They did the dice, the Twilight Struggle and Command and Conquer.
That's true.
Command and Conquer.
Command and Conquer? Command and Conquer, yes. GMT are republishing Command and Conquer. You heard it here first. Command and Conquer board game coming out from GMT.
I'm getting booted from that Discord.
Yeah.
Oh, and so this is the new map. Yeah, that's the latest version of the map. So there is a few differences here and there that I wanna point out too. So first of all, the round inspection bit is
different,
a bit more condensed, so that you have this first. And I think the other big change was Orderton Hill, making it really clear that it's actually unplayable terrain. So you have this cross hashing on top of it. And I think that's pretty much all of the changes that are there. Maybe
the coins here might be changed.
Yes, the coin changed.
This will be silver eventually, and you can change these into the silver wedges now, Fred, if you want.
Yeah.
You have those somewhere?
No, I don't have a Levian campaign mod that I can take it from.
I might do. Let me have a look.
Just gonna make myself some tea. I'll be back in a sec.
Oh, he's gone. Stuart, you're in charge.
Yeah.
All right. I have a shouting toddler behind me, so this is optimal radio time. So Sherwood is a game in the Cry Half series. It's a hex encounter Robin Hood game. You can climb trees. You can leap from trees onto horses. The Vassal module makes horse sound effects.
Awesome.
Also, the Vassal module was made by a Ukrainian.
So
it's great. The rules are 5 pages long. It also includes a 1-page rule if you want to play with your child. It's a great entry hex encounter, It's brilliant. The crossbow rules pass initial muster. I'm a fan, as I rate all games. I don't think there's any crossbows in Jest, so that's just a real black mark.
No, it's terrible. This isn't the right game, but it's a game for Sherwood. Let's just so when Fred gets back, this is all the new content. All the new content loaded in. Okay. Oh no. Oh dear. Done.
So this has really gone downhill since Fred left the room.
Yeah, it's not looking good. Fred's not going to be happy.
What happened, Joe?
I put all the new content in and it crashed. It crashed TTS. Put the new content in and it crashed.
Okay. Should I join a new server?
We've just had banging from Stuart the whole time. It's been a thing.
Oh, you'll need to join my server again, I guess. It's still there. Yeah. I was trying to load a game called Sherwood Bandits because Stuart started talking about the other game, Sherwood, which is not a tabletop simulator, sadly.
So it's on Vassal, the far better way to play games.
Yeah.
Oh,
exactly.
Only eclipsed by Rally the Troops.
Oh, yeah, I mean, Rally the Troops is the best way to play anything.
Yeah,
this is all the new content.
We should just be playing Rally the Troops now.
This is all the new content for Test.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. So people were not aware, but we changed a bit the graphical direction, and this is what we went for. I hope
I think
that's
it's a marked improvement. I think Todd will be happy. Like he was talking up the Jest map, but I think he'll think this is a vast improvement.
And the cover is really nice.
That's the Chinese pirate copy of Jest.
Yeah. Oops. Okay. I'm actually going to show you some new content soon. I'm just trying to.
What? That's a Levian campaign game, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, you're stealing bits.
Yeah, Fred has decided. Fred at the last minute, because he loves doing this to me, decided that he wanted to change all of the sheriff pieces to be a different color. So, they are now different. Let's see. Except I didn't manage to save it properly.
Informed of this?
Oh my goodness. For some reason, my TTS controls have just changed completely. It's very strange. I'm not happy about it. I blame Fred. Okay. But I am actually going to be able to load in some new items now. I can't load in those nights because I messed it up. So let's do this. Here is the Robin Hood player map coming in. Is Fred gone again? Oh, I was relying on Fred to provide.
Yeah, he's just run off.
He would be an absolutely terrible radio presenter. He does not understand about dead air.
He didn't even mute himself when he left, so it's just the sound of him making tea in the background.
Yeah. Oh, my tabletop simulator controls changed. Does anyone know how to put my tabletop simulator controls back to normal? Has Fred infested me somehow? Okay. Very annoying. Fred, I'm messing everything up because my controls have gone wrong. It's really a disaster, to be honest. But I put that in. Can you enlarge that player sheet? Put it in the right place.
You need to promote me then.
Okay. I think this has definitely gone downhill. The whole stream has gone downhill now. But there we go.
Quick, someone start doing some top sevens while we can do it. Yeah. What's the top 7 coin games?
Okay, we were actually doing this in the GMT staff server just the other day, so I have my list ready, and I could read from it if you want. We were doing them kind of into tier lists, I think, because we didn't want to like individuate them too finely. But there's so much chatter here, I can't even find it. Well, my top one. Well, we need to go in reverse order, don't we? So my top 7 might be, I don't know, Pendragon. I say Pendragon. Controversial choice, but I think it's a good one.
I think I've only played like 4 coin games, so we're gonna have to wait until we get to top 4.
Yeah. Well, okay. Top 1. Anyone? There is one answer for top 1, and if you get it wrong, you're off the channel.
I know, but I've seen the list.
That's true. Yeah. Well, what's your top 4, Stuart, that you played?
Let's see. I think.
Can you hear me?
Number 1 right now. I'm feeling really hyped about the British way.
Cool.
But I also really like Pendragon. So right now it's probably British Way 1, Pendragon 2, then A Distant Plain, then Andean Abyss, then Gandhi, I think. So I played 5.
Yep, that's good.
I got Gandhi. That's probably...
Yeah. Fire in the Lake is very good, and I'd highly recommend it. I think that's one of the best, or is the best probably. But I'm glad that you've been enjoying British Way. That's good. I think it's a bit of like an acquired taste for some people. So some people really don't like the 2-player dynamic.
Great. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah. Good.
The campaign is just an amazing way to play. It just adds just enough, kind of changes to each game, and seeing the map, some of the events where you're now this game you don't have pieces as the British, as they're off somewhere else in the world dealing with something else, I think is just kind of really neat. I don't know, the narrative aspect that brings in is really cool.
I also really like the playtimes because I like long games like from time to time, but I have very limited long availability, as you can tell from the fact that I'm live streaming with a 4-year-old, and so like that hour to 90 minutes is really sweet. It's a great like window to play a game in, and I really like that about it. And it's kind of inspired me to try and make a Levian campaign multi-pack, because I love Levian campaign deeply, but my other complaint is that a full campaign Levian campaign is super long. Like, I play loads of Nevsky campaigns because I'm really the troops, but like setting up and playing Inferno is so time consuming. But like
maybe
that, like
talk to
90 minutes.
Joe Schmidt about how to cut
well,
down
Mark,
on Levian campaign.
Mark's doing
I
Mark's
play
doing some of this.
tested Henry, so I'm on like Discord. I harass people about things. It's great.
Yeah. Fred, I have actually put some new stuff in now. You just keep getting kicked for some reason. Can't explain it. And I'm starting to put some cards in as well now.
And I'm doing Joe. They're doing their work. They had their tea break in their back, cutting his power lines.
Yes, exactly. But we've started. Me and Stuart taken over, and we're discussing Oin and Levian campaign now instead, because that's what we're doing. Mark
and Volko pops up.
Volko appears summoned. The Levy. Oh, I can't make that larger. But there's a card for you. What am I trying to say? There is some kind of multi-pack Levian campaign being worked on, isn't there? I believe I played one part of that, and your stuff might potentially be kind of around that time period as well. And in France,
so I'm looking at doing the end of the 100 Years' War. So from Joan of Arc to the end in 4 games.
Nice.
And a little campaign to kind of link all that up. So I have like a working prototype for the final campaign, the retaking of Bordeaux in 1453.
Nice.
That Pierre has been doing all the art for. We did it in like a weekend. We were just like, we had a time, and that's our optimal working pattern, is just like grind out a game really quickly. And then we kind of got stalled, so I have to get back to making some other ones. But we're trying to make a magazine game, Levian campaign game.
Okay, so I have, and I think we're probably going to have to end the stream soon, because I keep being dropping off. Anyway, the connection is struggling with TTS at the same time. This is the player aid that is actually going to be inside the player screens. So each player is going to have a screen, and inside of it, they're going to have all of this information with the sequence of play, how to increase order and justice, how does a rob work, the different types of rob, and some information on what are travelers that you can find in the deck, which is actually inspired by what Jan had done originally. He had done this visual player aid that tells you what is in the travelers deck. So you have everything here, so that reminds you what is the composition of the deck and what do they differently do, and then a reminder of how the inspection round is happening. So you have this. Then we have some first cards. So that's actually the first card. I need to become of a color, I think, if I want to be able to change stuff. Yep. And those are some of the cards that we're going to start adding to our tarot size. So I think in the TTS module we might have to increase their size a bit, but I think it's going to be fine.
You can do that now. I'm having trouble with my controls, but if you increase the size of one, then I can, or both of those, I can make the rest that size.
I think I can. Yeah, I think that would be nice. So some of the cards with the art so the layout of the cards was done by Chichu, who also did the map, and the illustrations themselves are made by Robert. Who also worked on some Levian campaign games, right? He was working on Inferno. He made the map for it, right? And all the illustration that's in there, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, for some of them, yep. For Inferno, I think that's right. Can't remember that one.
So those are the basic event cards that are going to be in.
And you should have the card backs on these as well. There you go.
Yeah. So this is the card backs. I don't think that those are the high quality ones, but I think that's good enough for now.
TTS doesn't really matter if you can't let it in high quality anyway. Yeah.
So this is the card backs for the event cards, and so you have the two types of event that you will find in the game. So this is a fortune event. You're going to have one of those per ballot, and those are events that trigger without players activating them, and they are indicated by this fortune wheel at the top. And yeah, you have just an effect that happens. You usually have a decision to make. Each player has a decision to make in different orders, and then there is a general effect that is being resolved on the board. And then you've got those normal events that are very classic coin events, where you have the clear, the clear option that is Robin Hood option, and the dark option that is the sheriff's option here. And you have, depending on which player is doing what, the player who's taking the event is going to be able to activate his side of the event for each of them. So each ballad, so ballad is like an equivalent of a campaign, is going to be 6 normal cards, 1 fortune card, and then you have the after you went through the 7 cards, you have the oops, sorry about that. You have the royal inspection that comes in, and the royal inspection is the equivalent of a propaganda phase in coin. And you see here on the right what happens during the royal inspection. And actually, there is one thing that I realize is missing in the player aid here between unrest and mischief. You have the victory check, which is actually.
Well, it's actually in the unrest phase, but you're right. Yeah, I'm going to have that in. That's annoying. Okay.
That's actually pretty important. So here you can see us actually also proofreading the material. But yeah, I didn't realize that originally because all the phases are in there, but there is one step in the unrest that is missing, which is the victory check. Which is quite important. Do you want me to write it down and send it over? Okay, good. And then you have those player aids, and I think I'm going to finish with that before we end the stream. But so each player is going to have a board where they're going to be able to put their pieces on. I cannot move. Am I still on?
Yeah. Yeah, you're still there. Yeah.
Oh, it's me. I'm. Yeah. Okay, good. Each time I try to move something in TTS, I lose connection.
Okay, that's annoying. You got it. I think we can say it now. Yeah.
Can you see me now? Can you hear me now?
Dial up, Fred.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening.
Well, this is riveting. I now have to go. Lovely channel, Joe. I look forward to 5 more years of Homo Ludens. Very excited to see what it brings.
It's just going to be top 10 lists of coin games.
Nice.
Great. Yeah. Top 10 every month. Basically the same top 10.
Basically. I mean, may go up or down a bit depending on current events. If you both of us invade Afghanistan again, I'm sure ADP will become popular again. So
basically becoming Joe feed.
Yeah, that's it.
Right. See you. And goodbye, Frozen Fred.
Fred has actually frozen again. Well, so what Fred was trying to say, and you can kind of see the player aid there, is the player aid is kind of like it was before. So you've got the plots at the top and the deeds at the bottom for each side, and then on the reverse side, which I don't. Fred, let's see how frozen Fred is. Can I flip that over? No, he's completely frozen. On the reverse side, there's setup information for each faction, and also some kind of opening strategy tips. So first time you play, you can look on the reverse side and set up and then work out kind of what to do. So it's a bit like the player boards in Spirit Island, if you've ever played that, which you've got set of information and tips on the back. I always put all the pieces on the front and then realize I need to look at the back and kind of have to hold it up like this to look. And no doubt that will be a fun feature of this game as well. So that'll be good. Anything else to say about the game, Sean or Russ? Or the channel? No?
I don't think so.
About the game. Well, oh god, feels like it's been coming out forever.
Yeah.
It does. Yeah, we're getting better.
Only someone would write the playbook and we could actually see the game.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Oh, damn, he's back.
I told them a bit about the player board.
Anyway, but I think we probably should.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I think trying to do live updating on TTS on the stream was a bit ambitious, Fred.
Probably
that's a bad idea. And actually, I'm dropping off again, so I think I'm gonna cut the stream now. Thanks everyone for joining. If you can.
Okay, we're done. We're good. Bye, everyone.
Sure.
Bye.
Okay, to 5 more years of the ever technically successful Homo Ludens stream. Hopefully, Fred will be able to speak to you again soon. But maybe this is just the end of the coup. Maybe I'm in.
This is chaos.
Until it just stops.
This is chaos. I'm gonna stop the stream now while I'm still on for just a few seconds.
Playing Killing in the Name for like 24 hours.
Exactly. Yeah.